Hey YouTube, this is Fran-Sez. How you doing tonight? Okay, it's the 15th of September. The Ides of September. Okay, well, hey, you know what? 6 months ago it was the Ides of March. So guess what? In less than a week it's gonna be the autumn. Okay. Well, hey, I want to give a shout out to a young transgender friend of mine, and it's a young lady. And anyway, I'm going to put her name and make a link to her video down in the description. And I'd appreciate everyone that maybe go over there and watch her video. Okay, so her video is titled Things You Should Not Ask and Tell Transgender People. And the channel, her name is Andrian Aliazas. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but it's good attempt. Anyway, she has, I don't know, 10 or 11 things that you shouldn't ask or say to a transgender person. Okay, so I'm just going to go over. She has a very good video, and her viewpoint is from someone in their early 20s. Well, I'm like a little older than that. So I told her that I was going to make a video with my viewpoint. Okay, so anyways, number one. Have you had an operation? Okay, well, hey, you know, Frances has had a couple of operations in her day, and actually, gee, if you count them all, it's probably like three or four, probably four. But it's none of your damn business, okay? So, hey, next. Do you still have a penis? Oh boy, that's a terrible thing to say. I mean, you know, you dressed up like a woman and you're presenting and everything, and somebody asks you if you have a penis. You know, how would you feel if someone walked up to your mother and says, "Hey, do you still have a penis?" See, you know, she could have been divorced, and you never know what happens, you know, so what a stupid question. It's none of your damn business anyway, you know? I mean, are you married to this person? Okay. Actually, I used to carry pens in my shirt pocket, but see, like that. You never know when you can use a pen. Some pens. Okay, which comfort room do you use? Comfort room. What the hell is that? Usually I use the family room, but okay, maybe they mean West restroom or washroom, something like that. Yeah, well, I use the one that's most convenient for the moment. You know, like generally I don't go in the men's room because don't look like a guy. Okay, so besides, you know, you go in there, the floor's all wet. There's a lot of guys out there that got a really bad aim. And if I'm wearing a skirt or a dress or something and I have to lower my pants to sit on the seat, I don't want to sit on a wet seat. I don't need puddles on the floor and screwing up my damn clothes. Okay, so in the interest of health and good hygiene, it's probably a better idea to go in the ladies' room and use a stall. Okay, it's just as safe as going to the bathroom at somebody's house because you go in there, you close the door, okay, and you can even lock it. Yeah, they all have latches, don't they? Yeah. So it's very safe to go in the ladies' room to use the toilet. Okay, next. What's your real name? Gee, that's a good question to ask. You know, I don't think I've ever walked up to somebody in my whole life and asked them, "Hey, what's your real name?" You know, I never met John Wayne, and you know what? I can't remember what his real name was. Okay, hey, next one. How do you have sex? Gee, that's a good question. Actually, I don't have sex. I usually just sleep in bed. And besides, I'm not married, and and I'm not married to you, so it's none of your damn business. Okay, next. Calling T girls sir or mister. Oh, jeez, I get this all the time. Get this all the time, you know. You get on the bus and you just, I don't even have to say anything. I just beep, you know. But as soon as you say something, or if you leave, if you say, "Oh, how are you today?" They say, "Oh, fine, sir." You know. Oh, gee, that's really nice. Okay. And for all you people that think it's funny just to say it to be an asshole, well, you know what? Usually, if I get miss, uh, what do you call that? Titled as sir or mister, I look at the person that said it, and I'll use the opposite thing on them. If it's a male bus driver, I'll say, "Well, thank you, ma'am." You know, what's he going to do? Stop the bus, jump off the bus, and beat the crap out of you? I don't think so. So, they got cameras on buses, right? So, anyways, you know, I just kind of, you know, I say if you're transgender, just give it right back to them. Okay? So, that's what I do. Okay, what did you take to look like that? Oh, gee whiz. Um, Man, I really don't want have the time to discuss my cosmetic um, pocketbook with you. You know, so what did I take to look like that? I don't know, man. Kind of looked like this almost all my life. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Okay, how would you have a family in the future? Well, I don't know. I don't plan on having a family in the future. I already had a family. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there that can't reproduce and they're married. And how do they have a family? I think some people adopt kids, you know. It can be kind of expensive. You must have to really want kids to adopt somebody. Okay. You don't look enough like a man or a woman. Well, gee, you know what? If I walked up to some woman all dressed up in a dress on the bus on Sunday and says, "Hey, lady, you don't look like a woman. Are you really a woman?" Jeez, I mean, that's pretty rude, isn't it? I mean, you know, I can sit on the bus and look at all the women on the bus and say, "Gee, you know, I'm kind of like in the middle here." You know what I mean? Maybe I don't look like Raquel Welch, but I got a rack. Oh well. Sorry about that. I hope I didn't offend anybody. Geez, 9 minutes. We got to get moving here. When did you decide to be transgender? Well, we don't decide about being transgender. We just are. Okay. So uh, the only decision people make is whether or not they're going to transition or they're not going to transition. So, as old as I am, I already lived like 60 years trying to be a guy, and I really did my best, but it just didn't never seem to work out, you know. So, I don't know. So, I think we have to come to grips with who we are and then decide to do what makes us happy inside. And, you know, there's a lot of people that are born with medical conditions that typically are not normal for the majority of the people that are born. So maybe you should have a little compassion and show people respect. Okay. All right. How did I look like before? Gee. I looked a hell of a lot worse than I do now. You wouldn't want to see any pictures of Fran-Sez like 5 or 6 years ago, okay? I lost a lot of weight. And it wasn't because I was on hormones. It was because I started taking care of myself. Eating right. And, you know, taking supplements. Okay, so how did I look like before? Oh, I've got about 300 some odd public videos, and just go back to the first video I ever made, and that's like 2.5 years ago. Prior to that, I don't know. I don't know where any of those pictures are now. Okay, well, I think I'm done. 11 minutes and 33 seconds. Jeez. Well, I have to say one thing. Andrian got through this a lot faster than I did, so the wonders of youth. Okay. Love you all, and I hope you enjoyed my comments, and I hope there was a measure of entertainment. And seriously, some of these questions and things aren't appropriate to ask anybody. Okay? Woohoo! All done. See you later in my next video.